What is up, folks? I'm in here in the lab, reviewing some lights, getting ready for my next YouTube video. And I saw some crazy stuff happening over on some of the Red Komodo user Facebook groups. The shit's kind of hitting the fan over there, as for lack of a nicer term. And it's getting a little crazy with the whole SDI port issue with everybody and their Komodos. Guys, this is 100% user error, okay? This is nothing new to the Komodo. This is certainly nothing new to Red, okay? This goes back to the days of 3G SDI even, okay? This workflow is something that ARI or ARI, depending on whatever part of the world you're in, however you like to pronounce it, this is something that they implemented long ago, okay? And now that we have 12G SDI, which means higher resolutions at higher frame rates, well, that just ups the ante even more. These SDI cables run a shit ton of current through them, okay? So this is nothing new at all. I think as indie filmmakers, because I get it, I know, I shoot a lot of low budget, shoestring budget narrative stuff. I do, I always have, right? If you don't know who the hell I am, just go to IMDb and look up Justin Phillip. You'll see this face, okay? If I need to, if you've never seen me before, okay? But I understand fast-paced sets, I do. But when it comes to a $7,000 purchase, plus more, because you're blowing your monitors and your Teradeks or your Vaxis units, right? You're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars that you are putting at risk by not taking the time to just pull that SDI cable directly off the back of the camera anytime you do a battery swap. So let me show you what I do. This is what I do every day. This is what I teach all of the ACs that work with me, okay? Because I don't want a little mistake that they make and then their day rate has to go to me or to Red or whatever, fixing the camera. Because I don't want this to happen, what everybody's happening, and then they're blaming it on Red and this and that, okay? So we're going to do this together, okay? I've done this before, but I guess I got to do it again because I get a shit ton of messages about this. Okay, so here's the camera, right? I have my monitor on here. The one component I don't have right now is the Vaxis, okay? Should I pull it out? All right, let me pull it out. By the way, if you did not see my review of the Vaxis Mini 1000, or it's really just me shitting all over Teradek, which I'll probably regret that one day, just like I'll regret, you know what? No regrets, man. I've had such a crazy life, dude. We can have regrets because that's just how we are as human beings, but you know what? You just got to own your shit, man. That's what I've had to do. Unfortunately, I've done a lot of bad things in my life, and, the Reaper will come. The Reaper will come, folks. All right, so here we go. So I have a very shitty job rigged up my Vaxis. This is not how I rig it for a real job, by the way. This is just how it looks, so we can all do this journey together. Okay, I have my camera here, right? Okay, first things first. I take my BP 955, I drop it in the slot. Then, I don't know what you guys have, but I've been using the same battery slide since day one. This is the wooden camera battery slide. I tell people this, but this may be something that has saved my ass. I don't know. This thing has built-in surge protection, okay? I'm gonna pop this on here. And what's cool about this is you can do hot swaps. And since there's room for the other BP 955 on here, if the V-mount dies because no one's paying attention, right? Some AC isn't doing their job or something, and the V-mount dies, it'll just immediately jump to the onboard Canon battery, and it's happened a lot on my shoots where in the middle of a roll, the V-mount dies because I'll hear noises from Video Village, but I'll just go like this and signal like we're actually still rolling, right? And we can continue the take, the actors, if something amazing is happening, right? Some great chemistry is going on, right? We can still capture that. That's one of the reasons I love this system. And this BP955 is always charged because the V-mount keeps it charged, because this V-mount slide plugs directly into the power port on the back of the Komodo, so the Komodo just thinks it's plugged into a wall, okay? All right, so I'm gonna pop this on here. All right, so now I have this all plugged in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a brick, just a normal V-mount here. I'm going to put this big old bitch on here. V-mount is in. Nothing is on yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the power cables for my monitor and this little Vaxis guy right here, okay? I never plug into any D-taps on the actual battery. My wooden camera slide has 3 D-tap ports, and I know my battery slide has surge protection, so why would I risk plugging directly into the battery itself? F that, man. I'm gonna go right into my plate, which has surge protection. There, I'm plugging in my Vaxis unit. Now I'm gonna grab the power cord for my Portkeys BM5WR. Let's plug this bad boy in. Again, I'm plugging directly into the wooden camera V-mount slide, not the actual V-mount. Okay, everything's in. First, I'm gonna power on the camera. Powering on the camera now. You heard it boot up. Okay, she's powering up. Actually, it's a he. Actually, she identifies as both. Yeah. My red Komodo is with the times, folks. I don't know about you guys. All right, so we're turning this on, and then we're turning this on. Okay, so everything is booting up. You'll notice there's no SDI cables plugged in because you don't want to plug SDI cables in until everything is powered up. Okay, folks? You got to wait. Everything is powering on, powering on. We have power there to the Vaxis. Let me move this down so you can see that we have power to both the camera and the monitor there. All right, right? We're good. Okay, now we just need some signal. So this is what I do. I take my 12G SDI cable. Has to be 12G if it's plugging into the Komodo. All right, whoops. I take the 12G cable, I plug it into the butt of the Komodo. I take this one and I go into my Vaxis first. Okay, I'm going into the Vaxis first because I have a transmitter that does loop out. Okay, into the Vaxis. Here's another 12G cable. Okay, this is the long one. I got them mixed up, but that's okay. I only use 12G with 12G. Okay, now we're going out of the Vaxis, and I'm gonna go into the monitor because I'm looping out. I'm looping out from the transmitter into my monitor. Now you say, Justin, why do you do that? Well, it's because, like I've said before, my first AC's monitor, we use the 7-inch Blackmagic Design 12G HDR video assist. That way I can send proxies through the air with 0 latency and wonderful signal transmission. I've talked about Vaxis units enough, and I get proxies wirelessly. But in order to do that, you've got to go to the transmitter first, okay? Okay, so now I'm connected. Everything is connected there, okay? Now let's say we're shooting for a long time and then oop, battery dies, okay? Now, again, this is not the build that I would do. We're just doing this as a demonstration, okay? Okay, so then the battery dies, right? So what's the very first thing I do when my battery dies? I pop this little V-mount up, okay? Let me get this around so you can see what I'm doing. And I pull the SDI. I pull the SDI before I do anything. Then you can pop the V-mount off and say, hand it off to whoever, or your first AC hands it off to your second. Then they bring it back, right? You have to be aware. While they're running and getting you another brick, I turn off my transmitter and I turn off my port keys, right? They bring me back the brick. I put it back on. Okay, now what do? I power everything back on now. Everything's getting powered back on. My SDI has not been plugged in yet. I'm waiting for my monitor to turn on. There comes my monitor, and I'm just waiting for the Portkeys logo. There's the Portkeys logo. And now I am plugging my SDI into the butt of the camera. And now we have picture. Right? It's blurry, but you can see what's going on. Let me focus this thing real quick. There you go, okay? All right? That's that simple, guys. It's that simple. We're done shooting for the day. That's a wrap. Let's go home. Okay, what am I going to do? I pull the SDI first, and then I power everything down. Okay? It's that simple. SDI, when you're building, goes last, right? When everything's already plugged in, you pull your SDI first, right? Like I said, they're doing a battery swap. They're bringing it back. Turn all your stuff off while they're gone, okay? They come back. Turn all your stuff back on. Leave your SDI until all things turn on. Wait for everything to turn on. I'm waiting for the port keys to turn on. I'm waiting for the port keys logo. There's the logo. Now I'm going to plug in my SDI. See that? See that? Everything's working fine. Simple workflow, guys. Simple workflow. Right? It's just something you have to get into your brain. power everything on, then plug the SDI in, right? Battery swap, whatever thing else, end of the day, pull the SDI first, then turn everything off, right? Don't go turning shit off and then pulling your SDI. Or worse yet, don't plug in the SDI, then turn everything on. Because that's really what's happening. I think, if I made a prediction, I think what's happening is these things are being blown during hot swaps. That's what I can predict is happening, right? They're doing a hot swap, whether it's you, your AC, your second AC, whoever the hell's doing it, right? Your mom, your grandma, someone's doing a hot swap, and they're leaving that SDI plugged in. They take off the battery, they come back with a new one, boom, poof, kaput. That's what happens, folks. People want to be like, well, that's Red's fault. No. This is something that's been a thing. If it's anyone's fault, it's whoever the creators of SDI, okay? Whatever's going on with the SDI components, it's their fault, right? Because this has been a thing that Ari has talked about way before Komodo got into this nonsense, okay? So guys, I urge you, just take your time, teach other people that are with you on set, be like, man, this little dumbass on YouTube showed us this thing. It works, okay? I've been shooting on this camera daily since before a lot of you, okay? Because I was one of the first people to get this thing, okay? So it hasn't happened to me. And this is the workflow I do. No issues. No issues, man. No issues, all right? Stay well, be well, keep shooting. And I'm sure you all hate me for my tone, but I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little... I'm just getting a little over it. I'm getting a little over it. People blaming the wrong people for these things, okay? We have to be responsible for our own actions, folks. I know. That's something that, I had to go to jail 13 times before I realized, hey, man, I'm a little bit of a screw up. Maybe I need to get my life together. Oh, that's a different topic for a whole nother different day. Love you guys. I'm out. All right. Guys making me do all this extra work trying to review a light. Now I gotta do all this. Okay, let me find it. All right, here we go. Not so elegantly, because this is a weird fucking angle. Come on, you son of a bitch. What's going on with this battery? There we go.